Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Andrew Schulz said it's a defense mechanism. And he said, you know, because you might get beat. And he also said that some of what they did was in protection because they were always complaining.
To speak on black women like that, that's all I was raised around. That's all I've ever dated. That's all I know. That's all my, all I've been married to. But there are certain things you can't do. And so with Schulz, it doesn't have to be combative and fighting and getting her back and crazy. But I think those dudes should have pushed back. I think maybe their culture, the European black dude culture might be different than ours. But when I did see it, it upset me because the whole thing about, argumentative black women and all this stuff, I think it's a stigma that people put on black women. My black sisters put on my wife, put on my black family members that I don't like.
Right.
I like a strong woman. If some bitch ass dudes can't deal with a strong woman and they say that's argumentative.
Oh, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Argumentative or combative, then go get you a weak woman, go get you a do-girl. But that's what I'm saying. If you're saying that, I'll push back and say, you don't want a strong woman.
Nope.
You don't want somebody that can run things. You want somebody that can push back. You want somebody that's opinionated.
Nope.
You just want a yes woman, and I can't deal with nobody with a yes woman. So I do think it was cultural when I saw it and saw them European dudes. I think they're built different than American black dudes are. And I don't know how y'all feel about it. And I do think I felt a certain way about them disrespecting the black women that I love and that I know.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Popping they pets on my coat. I'm on the road, flow like I'm Batman. Damn, what? Smart as a madman.
YouTube, what's going on, man? It's your boy Jay. You watching the videos, liking it, comment, subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. Hey, man. We got Anton Daniels. I don't know what these people finna say. I don't know, so please bear with me. I don't know. They kind of harsh, but I love their content. But the comedian Andrew, he went on the podcast. I forgot they named at the time. He made a joke about black women saying...
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, clean shape up.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time.
I'm hurt. Oh!
That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro, white guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of.
But think about this. Why, as a man, I'm a
Bitch ass dude.
if I want a different criteria woman, if I want a certain woman to fit what I want in life, as in she's more feminine, she's in shape, she's not argumentative, she's not overpowering with her emotions and, overly, controlled and overly strong. Why? I can't have my preference as a guy, but as a woman, they can have whatever they want. The double standard, she can have whatever she's okay with saying, oh, if you're not this, then you ain't, or you just don't qualify. When it's my turn, I get shamed, my preference gets dismantled. Oh, how dare I? Oh, I like men, da-da-da-da. Hey, man, it's just unfair, bro, but hey. A couple videos about it, man. Go check it out if you want the details. Hey, let's get it.
Anything wrong? I mean, he's a comedian. He was just I don't think he said anything wrong, man. I don't think he said anything remotely. Some of the most racist stuff I've heard is from black people.
I'm hurt. Oh!
I don't think he said anything wrong. He was just making a joke.
I think most people clearly don't listen to Andrew Schulz's comedy, because I listen to The Brilliant Idiots. I listen to, I've seen a couple, at least two, definitely two.
I just have a quick question. They can call him all this and that, but can they say he's wrong though?
Nope.
No one can say that he's wrong. The videos I made, the content I came across, nobody say, oh, he's wrong, women don't do that, da-da-da-da. Stuff like that. I'm just saying. It's not just black women, it's all women majority. You know what I'm saying? All races, but is he wrong? Come on now.
His stand-ups, Andrew Schulz talks about everybody. Andrew Schulz talks about everybody. And I think that
Tom Brady's roast. He came for everybody. Black, white, he don't give a damn.
Yeah, man. I think if it's hard for me to believe that people are insulted by what Andrew Schulz says, but they also watch Family Guy.
Oh God.
Like, just like Family Guy, they talk about everybody on Family Guy. So no, this is weak, and I think people are just looking for another point to make another clip to go viral.
Okay, so before I get to the women, because I am gonna make room for the women to say their thoughts. Do y'all think that black women, in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a little bit or a lot of it or not at all, do y'all think that they get an unfair shake in the label of being combative or having a bad reputation or angry or whatever like that? Do y'all think that in any way, shape, or form that is somewhat unwarranted or is an unjust stereotype or anything like that?
I think it depends on the demographic of women that you're talking about. So I think there are a bunch of subgroups within the black community. So that's why I'm like, I can't speak on all black women, but there are certain demographics that probably live up to that stereotype, just like black men. So I wouldn't label all black women under that.
But people generally speak to the majority.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Or what's popular or what's promoted in media. So.
Or what's accurate.
Both can be true, but
I guarantee you, I could go on YouTube right now and find a 10-minute video, 20-minute video of black women being belligerent to other men, specifically black men.
Bro, it's not all of them, exactly. But he's correct, bro. You can go online right now. It's a black woman saying, "These niggas ain't this, ain't that." Come on, bro. We know it. I don't know why is this agenda they pushing on all these men ain't this. Why? How come when a guy speak about a woman, right? I gotta always say, oh, not all. But if a woman just speaking her stuff, you know what I'm saying? The comments ain't saying, well, not all. They want black men to defend the black woman, but if you go in the comments, I don't see not one woman saying, well, that's not all men. My husband not like that. My boyfriend not like that, bro. They agreeing with it for the majority.
Black men, if it doesn't apply to you, then don't worry about it.
Oh,
just laugh, and if you don't think it's funny, don't laugh.
But I don't think people should make general, because even when I've seen women make general statements about black men, I'm like, what category or what subgroup of black men are you talking about? So,
but let me tell you something. That doesn't bother me.
Because it doesn't bother me.
Well, no, I'm okay with them making that assessment because it doesn't mean that I fit it, and it doesn't mean that it's not true either, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you say that, well, black men are behind most other groups when it comes to their financial significance.
Right.
A, I'm not going to be offended because I'm not broke. But B, it doesn't make it any less true, right?
Absolutely.
So just because there's anomalies or just because there's standouts doesn't mean that as a group that we need to do better. If I see a bunch of young guys with Pooh Shiesty masks up down the street, don't fucking tell me not to stereotype. They look like jack boys.
Oh God.
And self-preservation, stereotyping is necessary in order for self-preservation. So why wouldn't listen, I'm not here to be politically correct. I don't give a fuck about what people think. I only care about, whether it's accurate. And if it's not accurate, then change my mind. But stereotypes come from somewhere. There's some type of truth in there where it comes from. Now, I'm thinking that the women may have a different perspective because they are women and they have a different experience. But Dennis, I think you simping tonight.
I'm hurt. Oh!
Simping?
I'm not gonna lie. You know what's crazier though? Women don't complain about the simps. They only complain about who buzzing them cheeks. I ain't never get a woman, oh, he bought me flowers or he bought me chocolates. We're on this nice dinner day. I don't see them complaining about stuff like that. So are they really picking those type of men or what?
No. In what regard?
I think
so. Let's have the conversation. Or are you gonna ask them first? Because I love to have a conversation.
Let's talk.
Okay. What regard am I simping?
Because I don't think that you're coming from a genuine place. I think that you say things that are right, but you generalize it so much to where you can't really be debated. But at the same time, it always comes from a feminist perspective.
Ooh, a feminist.
Yes.
Okay. I can see where you're coming from, but ultimately, if I'm being honest, just like I admitted that the dudes were pandering on the show, there are a lot of guys that pander to women because that's how they get following. Like there are a lot of churches that pander to women because they're the main ones that tithe. So I'm not pandering in any shape or form.
I don't think you're pandering. I think you're simping. I didn't say you was pandering.
What's the difference? And if there is a difference, clarify that for me.
So pandering is doing things in order to reach a female audience or to make other people comfortable with what you're saying. Simping is a way that guys feel towards women. It's a genuine feeling that they have. Pandering is that you know better, but you still gonna say something to make other people feel good because you understand who the audience is. Simping is, this is the way I'm gonna act around women, or I'm gonna act towards women, and exhibit some characteristics of simping. So for example, we speak to the majority, but you made it a point, A, to try to deflect first in order to justify you saying, well, that's not all black women. And it's like, okay, we know that. Like, without even mentioning it, we know that there's not 100% of everything anywhere. But when we speaking in general, I think, and I don't know if your girl's sitting next to you or what, but when we speaking in general, we speak to the majority, not the minority. But
I think it depends on the context. So what I'm saying, if we're talking about personal behaviors, I can't judge if, like, I think initially you say like how black men, you said they could be behind financially. I mean, that could be an actual fact. And I believe it's a fact based on certain statistics. But I'm saying as far as personalities, that's really what's promoted in media.
What?
So I'm like, I can't 100% say that that's a fact.
Is
but
it
it's not
promoted in media, or is it a thing that black men usually see on a regular basis?
Black men usually see. I think it depends on the type of women that you're around.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
See what I'm saying? You
But
can't answer the question directly. You don't answer it because you don't want to defeat your argument by actually no. Because if we took a poll in the chat right now, I guarantee you that the majority of men will tell you that their experience with black women more or less aligns with what I'm saying versus what you're saying.
I can feel that. I'm not saying that there aren't black women that exude that behavior. I'm just saying, and this is just a general perspective that I come from.
Black women exude that behavior.
But let me explain. This is a general perspective that I come in, because oftentimes, especially watching your show before, or any type of platform, whether it's women podcasts or men podcasts, they overgeneralize. Whether it's black men are trash, black men are this, black men don't love, all this other stuff, or black women do this. I'm like, what category, what subcategories of black people are you talking about? Are you talking about hood black people? Are you talking about professional black people? What categories are we talking about? So if you're talking about, let's say, generically rough from around the way black people, I can get where you're coming from. But that's what I'm saying. Everybody doesn't fit into that model. So that's why I'm like, if you subcategorize it,
but they
it
do,
makes it more
because
clear.
Even if you have people that are successful, the culture is toxic. So you can take somebody that's incredibly successful or somebody that has a lot of money, but it doesn't mean that they don't embrace culture that is absolutely toxic for the rest of us. Even though they may have been able to pull themselves out of that circumstance, it doesn't mean that the ghetto was out of them.
We're not even talking about the actual thing anymore, bro. Let's just get into it, man. I don't even know. We're not even talking about the topic no more. They on this whole different tangent. Hey, man, let's get it. It still makes sense.
Me, when anyone's presenting, especially when they're talking, let's say someone's talking about black men, not necessarily that I have a feeling about it, but like I said, I feel like it's an inclusion of people like you, me, or anyone else. Now, I understand you could just say as an individual, I don't fit that mold. But I'm saying still, when you say black men objectively or generally, you're still including me, you, whoever else is on this panel.
Right, because I'm still affected by the culture. I still like saying fuck shit and rap music. And no matter how successful I am, I'm still affected by the culture that we celebrate the most.
Does that mean you subscribe to it, or
100%?
Okay.
That's
So they were talking about generalizing and stereotypes, and Anton is calling the dentist guy a simp. And yeah, that's where we at right now. That's where we at. We're not even talking about the comedian part right now.
kind of a contradiction, though, Anton.
It's not.
You definitely,
Because we all have vices. We all have ways in which we grew up from. And even if I'm actively trying to remove myself from it and I'm working on the things that I hate about myself, it doesn't mean that it's not still attractive to me, because that's the thing that I grew up celebrating. It's the thing that I grew up on.
Then therefore, how can you say you're an outlier and also say I subscribe to
Because my results show that I'm an outlier.
That was going to be my question.
My results show.
You constantly separate yourself from the culture all the time, and now you say you subscribe to it sometimes. So like, which one is it? And like, and if it's so toxic and we shouldn't be doing it, why is someone of your caliber subscribing to some of this toxicity?
Because, like I said, sometimes we're influenced by things that we grew up by. And even though you're actively working, because you'll forever be actively working on being a better version of yourself, which includes you shedding a lot of that stuff, you're still in it and you're still attracted to it, whether it be based off of proximity or by choice. So what makes me an outlier is that I was still able to get the results despite the fact that the culture is still so toxic, but it's not something that I celebrate because I understand how bad it is and that you have a greater probability of failing while embracing a culture, which is why I'm an outlier.
So you're an outlier by your success and not your personal
Correct.
interest. Okay.
The results show that I'm an outlier, not the culture itself. It's almost like when people say, well, Jay-Z got dreads and he a billionaire. It's no fucking way that you don't have the pathway to be Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying? So if it's the thing that we embrace the most, if I want to celebrate something or if I want to champion something that allows for you to be successful, you can't go the same way as Jay-Z because Jay-Z an outlier, even though he's a part of the culture. Yes, he's a billionaire, but
that's like he's saying, oh, I made it in life, financially made it, but I'm still into hip hop. I'm still into this, stuff like that. Wearing chains, stuff like that. But I don't know why that Dennis dude confusing that point. I don't understand that.
Chances of you duplicating what he did in order to get there and still be able to have dreads in your head and be respected, even though you got to fucking go to work in the morning, it doesn't make sense for you. But we celebrate it and we champion it and we mimic it, and it's not something that we can duplicate. He's an outlier for a reason. So we shouldn't use him as a reference point because we can't relate to that level of success. And there's no way that we can duplicate that on a mass level.
But then you can also say that there are black women, men and women that are outliers, not by their success, but by their own personal interests. So by definition, they're an outlier.
Give me an example.
So have you ever talked about, like, let's say, I think people have talked about, like, let's say black men that act white or black women that act white. They just grew up in a different environment and just have completely different personal interests.
Them. We don't respect them the same way. They not a part of, that's the thing. They not a part of the culture.
I'm saying, who doesn't respect them?
Most black people don't.
This is a fact. This is a fact. I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, and they always, you act like a white person, you act like a white girl. It's not respected. It's not. And eventually I just gravitated towards white people.
See?
It's the truth.
And the first, you know what they say?
It's crazy. If you one of those quote unquote cornballs, quote unquote nerds, and you attracted to black women because you're black, and a black girl not gonna like you because you don't fit the hood, the tight. You don't sag your pants. You know how to articulate yourself. They're not gonna like you. They don't. So those same women get mad and see if you're with a white woman. So I get that point. And they don't respect it. They don't respect it. They don't like it. I don't know why. Hey, that's on them though. That's why I say, man, go where you're accepted and go where you want it.
What they say to Molly, you know what I say? Whenever she make a point or whenever she say something, if they want to try to get a trump card on her, they'll say to her, but you not dating a black man.
Oh.
That's the first thing they say to her. Are you dating a black man?
By proximity, a lot of them were just ratchet. I wasn't into that. I wasn't into listening to a lot of rap music. I like rock. I skateboarded. Who in the hood is really doing that? Nobody. So it's the truth. Like, we can't sit here and act like it's not a thing.
I mean, it's a thing. I mean, I didn't grow up in the hood, but there are
I constantly got told, you act white, da 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 da. I was a bit of an outcast. I was a part of everybody because I was there, but I was still the outcast because I did not fit into the smoke the weed, listen to the rap. You know what I'm saying?
In the hood, Molly? You grew up in the hood? Mm-hmm. Okay. So
I did not grow up with a silver spoon.
I feel you. So I guess my whole thing is that we can't. That's your own personal experience. That's not the majority.
But that's a lot of experiences of people who are in certain neighborhoods or demographics that don't necessarily align with that culture. You do get alienated. You do get told. I'm constantly told I'm not black by people who don't know anything about me. My mother and my grandmother are.
But what type
Like,
of black
you know
people
what
are
I'm saying?
saying? What type of black people are saying that though?
And that's why I'm
The
that's
same
what
black
I'm getting
people
to.
I'm
that
saying like what
Anton is
demographic?
constantly addressing.
Because I'm like, we're
You know
talking
what
about hood culture. That makes sense. Because growing up,
Right, and
It's
that's
yeah,
what I
all the
wanted to
same.
I grew up
say.
in the
Like,
hood. Like, what are y'all talking?
yeah.
Like, that's
No,
what
I'm
I'm trying
saying
to
I
tell
agree. If you're
y'all.
talking about hood culture, then that makes sense. But I'm
And
like,
when
if
you
you're
don't
talking
want to do
about
the hood things, when you do want to go to school, when you do want to do certain things, they look at you like you're lame. You're trying to act white. You're
Why you
trying to be
acting
white.
white?
Hey man, that's the video, man. That's the video. That is the video. Hey, I'm surprised they didn't get in depth into the comedian stuff, but I mean, you get the point. The top comment was what was the top comment said? Said a black woman can they could swing like Iron Mike in his prime, you know, Mike Tyson. But a little joke like, oh, y'all complain too much. Oh, they only got beards because you always hit them. Now you want to cry wolf and be a victim. Hey man, I'm just saying. Go check that video out. But he was talking about a topic, talking about he want a strong woman and da 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 da. I'm just like, bro, no guy wants to be with a combative, strong, I don't need you independent woman, not even just black, just in the majority. So if you're not even attracted to what you're attracted to, you grew up with, you know, based on your skin color, and if you can't find one that fits your mindset, your narrative, and what you want at heart, bro, go out of your race. I'm telling you, just go out of your race, call it a done deal. But hey man, shout out to Anton. Hey man, that's the video, bro. Just let you know, man, I appreciate you. I'm going.